something special for the WGGGMBUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the Algarve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool, just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start, I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hucks they fly. The spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start, I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. My 6'2" still works in the bar. I can see from miles. Got drinks on my radar. Portimao party is the place we flee for the friends we see and these great memories. Yeah, I feel the spirit as I pull every sinew. Shatter my knees, yet we're gonna continue. Take this hand, better yet carry me from the beach to the bar, better yet to the sea. I'm slow off the start, I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the WGGMBUCC 2025 in sunny Sardinia. I'm John Dock here with Steph Rapazzo and we have a pre-quarter matchup to determine who's going to take one of the final two spots in the top 8 of this division. We have Rainbow Warriors and they're facing off against Mixxxed from Germany. Rainbow Warriors down as a Swedish team and game underway here. Both these teams slightly different routes to this stage of it, but they came second and thirds in their group respectively, so if it's anything close to the last game we had, this game could be amazing. But I think you would have to say the slight edge goes with Rainbow Warriors. Just they seem to have slightly better results so far, but we saw in the last game going to Universe that didn't mean too much. Right in front of the end zone here. Forced to throw the crossfield shot, and it's going to be an easy catch.
Heck of a crossfield shot to be thrown.
Yeah, I think it was maybe someone with an incorrect jersey potentially on that one. I think the goal was Jonas Fors, but I'm not sure who threw the assist.
Was it Hageby Filipowski in the 18 shirt? There he is. It was, but he's not in the right shirt.
Maybe that 8 is a 0 and I'm just bad at reading numbers. I'm not sure, but
I think it's more the case of he's got the wrong number on his back.
Well, you give him a shout out anyway, so there we go. Let's see how Mixxxed respond. If Mixxxed from the Germans, how they will respond here. Getting near to the near sideline. The wind's kind of blowing a little bit towards the cameras at this game, and this just bounces off the chest and turns out to be a layout grab by another player. That is very fortunate. Potential deep shot coming here, but decides not to throw it. Gets another option going deep, looks it off as well. Another deep option. This time we get a throw and it's going to make it just too far. Just too far for... Again, I think another player trying to give us some problems here with their numbers in the booth. It was the number 86 shirt. looks like potential hand block, foot block, maybe a foul. I think those players are going to have a little bit of a discussion here, but I think we're going to have a little bit of difficulty with the numbers in this game.
And
and the
Rainbow
names.
Warriors don't have their proper jerseys on. They're going to have to report to scorekeeping and to the commentary booth.
And my problem there was with one of the one of the mixed players. So I think maybe this game we're going to struggle. Or perhaps we just happened to pick the exact players who didn't have the right jersey matching numbers here. But I mean, we can focus on the play rather than the players if they don't want to get the shout outs for their jersey numbers. Either way, hopefully it's going to be a great game. Like we said, we had a universe point game in the last one here, so if we get anything close to that, it's going to be a tough one to live up to the last game. Deep shot goes up, blocked. Kurtzen a little bit unhappy with himself there. He gets the pass and he just overshoots.
Wide open. You can understand the dismay.
So a couple of players at least we know have the right names and numbers. So we're getting the little 1 meter travel calls here on where you're planting your feet. Starting early. Thought we were going to get it in the last game, but this is the one we're going to get. A deep shot goes up. Good boxing out and read there by Kindgren. Just outside the end zone now, looking really determined to throw a forward pass. Goes for the blade. First blade I think I've seen this weekend, and I think it might have been Alwyn with the throw. God, I know we weren't very big fans of the Uncle John's band numbers. These Rainbow Warrior ones, when they're far away, a little tricky to see. You can make it out kind of clearly now, but
not as bad.
I could tell it was 66 or 88. I wasn't sure. And it's unfortunate that one's not going to count as a score. I wanted to see our first blade score of the weekend, I think. Hopefully she do the same thing again.
Chance to break, go up 2-0. Be a hot start for the Swedes.
No, I think that was a blade as well.
It looked like an inverted blade.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been a hammer, but I'm going to go ahead and say that was a blade. So
that
Alwyn gets her assist with the blade.
Worst case scenario, blammer.
I think it was the number 3 shirt of Kindgren. I'm not sure if he was the one who caught the first one and caught this one. They're determined to get their assist and stats on the board. And yeah, break to start. Get your break. Good start for Rainbow Warriors here, and Mixxxed from Germany, or maybe it's Mixxxed Remastered. I think they slightly adjusted their name this year, and
yes.
I think before that they were called something else.
We're allowed to say it. Sexpensive. This team, many of the players who've moved over from that legacy.
Rainbow Warriors with a chance here to go 3-0 up if they can get another break, but Mixxxed are going to be wanting to have a little more consistency here, and it's a good throw down the line to open up some space, and the follow-up one. And we see this time they get on the board with Lundlide.
Yeah, Louise Mbe with the big throw up the line that really opened things up, and Kirsten followed it up, and they're on the board. Get their holds. Down 2-1.
I think we're coming down off the high of the last game. There isn't the same energy yet, but maybe it's just because it's early in the game. But I feel the last game there was just noise, energy everywhere. This one seems a bit slower paced. A couple of minutes into this game, the goals are going in pretty quick. Nice pull went up there. Catch it in the sun. Centers it to Anderson. Just happened to be. Anderson to Fours. Or to Linsmeyer. Back to Linsmeyer again. I think it's Hardsbury. They do have their names on the back of the jerseys, but the white on light blue also. I guess maybe they just decided they were just going to make life difficult in or maybe they weren't used to playing in such bright conditions. I have to wear sunglasses. I
must say, I asked them to wear the baby blues, assuming that the best contrast were the mixed grays and the blues, but I did not take numbers into account. They may have been better on the dark blues. Do you think their shorts numbers are better?
Possibly. I can't see. I see one. Yeah, their shorts work.
That's what their other jerseys would have looked like.
Right for the end zone here. And big block there by Achenbach. Or Jens, perhaps. We'll go with Jens.
That's Achenbach.
Got up there. It's one of the bigger jumps I've seen this weekend on the sand. Bit of a big unit, but got off the ground there. Mick's going to get a chance here now to Mbayu on the disc to Stalso, looking for options. Achenbach gets it backwards, waiting for
pick called.
I think that's going to be retracted. Turnover. Webb unable to get to it. I think it's Hardsby here, I think, on the disc. Kind of a, I won't call it a break, but it looked like it was a break side throw, but pretty easy one. Sometimes it's a good reason to encourage your cutters to set up far to the open side. You don't actually have to break the mark to get a break side cut going.
The Don, as he's known, throws breaks and comes over for high fives. Getting the job done out there. Hageby, Filipowski, Hageby. Chucking a beautiful backhand break. And Rainbow Warriors stay ahead a double, 3-1.
The other game at this stage going on, run down ahead of Young Legends, 3-1 at the moment, so 3-1 in both the games.
Both German outfits down to Swedes and Americans respectively.
We seem to have gained an extra volunteer on our field here also, so maybe they realized this is the game they wanted to come and watch. Looks like a great pull. Comes back in right at the end, avoids the flag. Perfect pull. Best pull of the weekend.
Great throw there.
Great work to get out of it, yeah. Falling forward, holds onto it, sets it up, sends the deep shot. And that's a really nice throw there.
Rue Vital with a beautiful forehand, opening up the field. An absolute legend. First time I saw him, he was playing with the Young Legends, the other German team, but a major contributor to the club formerly known as, and a captain of this team, Mixxxed. He was out in Portugal but unable to play, fighting a couple injuries. And he's pretty stoked to be back out there for sure, saying he's got some upcoming procedures, and he's like, well, I got to get it all in now. I should be able to play after, but I'll be taking a break again. So he's making the most of his opportunities.
Yeah, you got to imagine, man, a lot of players still able to play to this age bracket probably have some upcoming procedures at some stage in the future if they can keep playing at this level. Get to see another look at this Rainbow Warriors offense now. Weiberg on the sideline, just about caught by Anderson. Back to Hardbury. Seems like there's a foul called off the disc. wind started to pick up a bit more now again. Today it's mostly been blowing towards us today. Yesterday was just blowing away from us. I think the players trying to figure out exactly where they're supposed to go to restart this one. Decided Harsby's going to have it here. Two players with the same surnames. Going to make my usual assumption in this division that they probably have the same household as well.
You're correct.
Anderson back on the disc.
Jonathan Potts wild on the mark.
Husband-wife connection there. And back. And finishes it up with a big diving catch. I think it was Weiberg in the end zone, getting it down, getting the feet down, making sure he stays in bounds. And slower point, but good solid one for Rainbow Warriors, and they're going to be happy to get that one again. It was
Now, something I learned last time I did the Rainbow Warriors was when you mentioned Weiberg, you've got to say the first name. Count them.
Oh. I think it's been the same one every time. But yeah, there's a couple of
There's
them.
4 on the roster.
Weiberg. So basically, I have like a 25% chance of closing my eyes and getting the name right if you tell me someone caught a pass.
And in this case, there are some siblings. They're not all living in the same household at this stage.
Right.
I do not believe.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe all the males, the male Weibergs, are brothers, and one is wed to one of the Weibergs.
We don't ask questions.
I mean, we do. I ask a lot of questions. Right now, no. And as far as that modern family situation, I'll let it be. I'm happy any which way.
So mixed here with the chance going back the other way now. Kurtzen centers it. Really nice inside break. Great throw there. Solid here. Ratcliffe on the disc. Defender's kicking sand up in the air. Got to aim a bit higher to get the eyes. One-handed catch on the far sideline. But Kurtzen again and just overthrows. Mbaye unable to get that one. Seems like everyone on these teams has got someone with the same name as them on this one.
Well, Mbaye, you would recognize that name.
Yeah, that one was Louise, and then the other one is I'm going to butcher some of these names. You might know them a little bit better.
Faisal, but he goes by Face.
Face. I can go.
That's the brother of Nasser Mbaye Vogel.
When I first started playing, one of my experienced coaches, who I took their opinion and everything, says that the time best player in Europe, and still playing. And at the time, I think he might have been considered a slightly older player, so a legend of the sport.
Yeah, absolute.
Rainbow grade here now, looking to get this. I believe it's a break opportunity. With all these names, I've started getting slightly confused on who started this point on offense. I think it was the Germans. Very low grab there by Alwyn. She's gonna throw another blade. No blades this time.
Nah, keeps it flat.
He's pointing, he wants the deeps, and all he gets is 4 dumps. And now the deep space is there. Has to. Great. Oh. Is he gonna run it down? Oh, just drifted away at the end. I love the pump fake, gets the layout bit on defense, and then he follows it up anyway. And that's, to be honest, you got to give it probably enough credit to the defender there. The situation they created probably led to that throw. And I don't think it wasn't a bad throw by Kindgren, but he just needed a little bit more outside in, but he probably also kind of rushed it. They bring the disc back in at the front here. Got Courtston on it. Centers it to Vital.
Misses there in the middle.
Alwyn back on it again. It's going to be easy to remember the names of players who like throwing blades. And have another chance. I like this one. I think I like this throw. We're just holds on to it. Massive play. I think it was Kindgren. And somehow they're still maybe not in the end zone. They're debating here with in person.
I think they're gonna get the sniffer dogs out for this one. Here's another look. Yeah, he's in. But they're playing as he's not.
And we will slowly lower our hands and hope that the disc doesn't lie. And Alwyn ends up getting on the scoring end of it, so
Just can't throw a blade to that.
can't throw that. You can blade spike it, but she decides not to yet. Save it for later, maybe.
I mean, Swedes, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they're making some big plays here, like that one there.
That one, yeah,
but I can't really see, like, they're up 5-2 now. They're really stretching ahead. I don't see where Mixxed is really sputtering. They're just like having a good-looking offense for 2/3 of the field, and one errant throw that's missing. It's not Rainbow Warriors are tight defensively, but not making big plays to take it away. They've just got this across-the-board consistency on both sides of the disc, and are slowly grinding Mixxed down. It seems, but I do still feel like. Mixxed, I wouldn't mind seeing a timeout, like a between points timeout from them if they get scored on again. They can tighten things up here and put themselves right back in it.
Yeah,
a little slap in the face, mindset check.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it is. It might just be a little mindset thing or just a little tactical adjustment. Just get everyone in for a moment and decide, hey, what are we feeling out there? What seems to be the little thing we could adjust? It can be hard to get into the flow of it in beach with two lines.
And there's another miss.
Another turnover, yeah, and another chance here. I think that one was another one of the Weibergs. So Emily Weiberg, as the deep shot goes up. 4 is underneath it. I think he's going to get it, and he does. Little fist up celebration there. Tough catch, not so easy.
The Don again. Filipowski Haggerby. It's Haggerby. But what a throw.
Yeah, great throw again. If you know your receiver's going to be able to adjust and make those catches, really good throw. And I think the timeout does get called here. A couple of seconds too late perhaps, but I don't think not such a big deal in this game. It does feel like they're kind of close, so we'll see what they talk about and we'll come back after the break.
I worked for a Michelin star chef making gelato in Paris. I had my own restaurant in Nicaragua and a food truck in Australia. Why wouldn't you watch me? Check out my YouTube channel.
welcome back here to this game. Rainbow Warriors versus Mixxed, and the timeout was taken there by Mixxed, but it seemed that it was the Rainbow Warriors were the ones that seemed to get a little bit more hyped by their timeout talk. Mixxed here really going to want to get back on it before Rainbow Warriors kind of put this one to bed. They're up by a few now, and I think Mixxed are going to need to start turning it on. This deep shot here, big one. Is he going to get to it? He does. It looks like he's in. I think that was vital, and really nicely weighted throw. I thought maybe he was going to have to speed up a little bit to catch it, but he ends up getting it pretty comfortably in the end. And I think it was Melbu Book Greisen with the assist.
Yeah. Book Greisen. But that was an absolutely vital goal for Mixxed. And the least they can do to respond after taking the timeout. They are still being doubled up by the Swedes, but you know, a small run could really rip open a seam here if they, you know, one break and anything can get going.
Yeah, we saw it in the last game. Yeah, it was 3-1 and then turned into a 7-5 from going the other way. So momentum can change very quickly here. And this is I think where Mixxed are going to have to see if they can change up what they were doing. We hear the whistle for half time, and like we said, it's felt a little bit slower paced this one, but I'd say this is a more normal paced game really. It's just that we've had some insanely fast paced games earlier in the day.
I mean, no matter what, half times it's 7. If you +1 to the highest score, or if they get this point, we will get halftime in a unique situation there.
Sweeney at centered here, great position. Force gives it back to Anderson.
Oh, there was a toe on there.
And they do slot this one in, and they make it look relatively easy again. And it's really hard to see what Mixxed are going to be able to do here. And as we said, I think that one's going to put us into half again. So they had their timeout, they scored their O, and then not a whole lot seemed to change on the defensive side of things. But now they get to come in and have another little chat. So I guess we'll take a quick little break here and come back in this, get the second half of this game very shortly.
Oh my goodness, that is unbelievable. And created the shift and made for it.
That was absolutely incredible.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
I'm Steph Pazzo, and I must eat.
Sometimes commentator, sometimes food eater.
On my ultimate travels in 2023, I sampled culinary classics from all across Europe,
Oh, wow.
guided by some of your favorite ultimate players.
That's the Dutch hospitality for you right there.
I'll give you an insight into the secret spots that only the locals know of.
Are these the best schnitzels in Vienna?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
Go find Steph Pazzo at YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow the European Ultimate Must Eat series.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, It didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it!
Welcome back here to the second half of this game between Rainbow Warriors and Mixxxed in the pre-quarters. We see Mixxxed are going to need to get a bit of a confusing whistle there from the volunteer in the half time in the middle of a point. But we get back underway with Mixxxed on the disc, and Mixxxed are really going to need to figure out a couple of things just to figure out how to get some turns. First of all, they took a timeout before half and slotted in a nice offensive point, and looks like they're going to do another one here with a really nice throw from the sideline as he hits Buck Greisen in the end zone. The throw, I think, became from Vital, and now we're going to see if they can fix that defensive. I wouldn't say it's an issue because they've only had a couple of chances on defense, but they haven't looked close to getting many turns yet. So
yeah, nice response. Vital, another big throw. He got the goal after the timeout, got the throw now, but it is about getting a D-line that can slow down the Rainbow Warriors. First things first, and you got to convert if you can, but Rainbow Warriors have been very stingy with the disc. They've given it over to Mixxxed a few times in the whole game, so defensive pressure's got to ramp up here for Mixxxed.
that pull almost helps with it, but just drifts a little bit too far out of bounds. Almost perfect. About 1 meter outside the back corner of the end zone. And it looks like we're just going to get a tight matchup here. No fancy zones, no fancy poaches. I think they're just going to look to try and get a tight pressure block. Fours. Didn't like the timing of the cuts downfield for the continuation. It's it up to Anderson, who shoots it deep. And they do get their turn, and it's just a height matchup there. Not a whole lot the Swedish receiver could do there. I think it was Achenbach again getting another block there.
Chaka Blaka. Achenbach stepping in front of Hageby. Here's another look at it.
Hard enough to get the blocks against players on grass when they're taller than you. When it's on the beach, there's basically no chance. So hard to get a jump on the beach on the sand, especially with softer sand, which this kind of is. It's not as close to the water as I'm used to playing beach ultimate anyway. When you're sometimes later in the day or at the wrong time of the day, you could have a couple of waves crashing in on one of the sidelines. No case of that here. Good defense by Anderson on the cuts. Achenbach shoots a nice one over the top, and Bay does a good job to just reel it in. Very relaxed throw there on Stahl, about 8.5. Bay again right in front of the end zone here. See if he can keep the same composure. He does. Over to this near side, watches it into her hands. Pontina. Ponetta. Decides to not throw the hammer, then decides to throw it, and it works out. Turns out it was a great decision making process, and that is a break for Mixxxed, and that is a much needed break because they have not looked close to getting them. And I think it was Sean Webb there catching the goal, and maybe there's a bit of life in them yet. There's a bit of a gap in this game compared to the last one, but
yeah, I think they got a bit lucky there. I'm not sure Mbe's throw was actually to the targeted player who caught it, but in any sense it did connect. The hammer, a little bit of a wobbler, but it did connect. And they found the ways to make it work. I think they got the D, and Rainbow Warriors aren't messing around. They're going to call a timeout of their own immediately after the being broken, recalibrate themselves, and do their best to prevent anything of the sort from happening again. And with that, we'll take a short break too. We'll be back with more after these words.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it!
Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. And created the net and made for it.
That was absolutely incredible.
And a break takes Rainbow Warriors into having to take a timeout. Or wanting to, not having to. They've got a 2-point lead still, but just showing some sense of serious nature after the break. And we'll see if they come out charged with their offense or if Mixxxed can continue and find a bit of a run here.
Yeah, big point here for Mixxxed here to try and get this one. If they can come out here with a break and get it back into one, it would feel like a very big momentum shift. Anderson decides not to throw the deep shot, hits the under instead. Fours now, and just not much that the Mixxxed defense can do about that one. Weiberg with the score, Albin Weiberg with that one. I think for Mixxxed, that one you probably don't mind it as much as some of the previous ones. That, like I said a couple of times this weekend, sometimes the other team just strings a couple of good efficient passes together and there's not much you can do to slow them down, and I think that was the case on that one there. So as much as they'd want to get a block there, they did get one break, and a good response there by Rainbow Warriors to come out and just show, hey look, let's refocus, let's play and score this one, and that one was a very clean offensive point.
Yeah, stretch back ahead, 8-5, 3 goals again. Great response indeed. Maybe the tidiest offense we've seen of them in the game.
A seagull about to land on the field here, decides not to. Is waiting for the pull to go up. Prime target. Instead, we're probably going to see a brick. It's lucky he flew through sooner. I think he might have got a smack of that disc otherwise. Rainbow Warriors themselves going to be looking to get a break back here. I feel if they get a break here, it maybe puts the game almost out of reach. I know it's a little bit early in it yet, but they're going to need to score this one, and the shot goes up and the defender can't get a read on it, and that's going to work out pretty easy for Buk Greisen. I think that's another one from Kirsten. I think they've linked up a couple of times. I feel like I've seen Buk Greisen on the end of a couple of shots now at this stage, and if they keep getting their 0 points in that quickly, they'll give themselves enough time to get some break opportunities.
Yeah, that's as good of a response as possible. As we look at the revelers on the beach. But a beautiful throw. I think you're right, those two have connected a couple times. Buk Greisen sporting the headbands, getting well behind the defense and getting turned around a bit by the throw, the defender. So now puts the pressure back on offense, of course. One more break from Mixxxed and things, of course, get really interesting.
Looks like a really good pull to start. That one's perfect. Lands in the back corner. They're going to have them stuck in the end zone. Anderson in the middle of her own end zone here does have an option in Weiberg. fours. To Hardsby. To the other Hardsby. And to fours deep, and it looks like he's going to run this one down, and he does. And a bit more pressure by Mixxxed there, but not much you can do when the throw's on the money like that.
Yeah, the Hagabees work well together. Stretch the field open. Deep shot looked really good. A little bit of a suck in for the defender, who kind of read the player for a few steps before spotting the disc. And the last couple steps granted some sound separation.
Yeah, 9-6, and we've got about 10 minutes left, so gonna start needing to see this come back kind of soon. I think if Rainbow Warriors get a break here, I
agree with you now.
It, but
even on the last time he said it, I was like, probably, but now I think if they can break, that's a back broken.
yeah, and I think if they slot in one more of their old points, I also think that might be enough. So it's kind of got to slot this one in for Mixxxed, and then you probably need to get your breaks going now. Starting okay here so far, moving it well. Vito over to Buckreisen. It's a hard under there to another Buckreisen, another name I'm seeing twice. Back to Vital. Shoots the hammer. Huge play on defense there.
Yeah, the hammer just dialed up short.
Well,
Potsy could get hands to it, but the defense offered an opportunity and took advantage of it.
I think it was Josef Weiberg there, another Weiberg. One of 15, I think, on this team. And here comes the chance for Rainbow's Warriors to maybe try and seal this game, in my opinion. They're looking in a promising position here. Disc goes up. Not sure if he's going to be able to run that one down. He isn't, but lands right in front corner of the end zone of Mixxxed, and they're going to get another chance here. You can see some hands on the heads out there. A couple of tired bodies. It's been a long day for some of these teams. We've seven rounds of games today. It means I would guess most teams have to play 3 games today. Definitely some of them do, but although we do have a seeding game coming up next where we have the top 4 seeding teams playing off against each other to make sure we avoid the 2 best teams meeting in a semi. But Mixxxed here looking to keep their season tournament possibly alive, and that's just not the time to have that mistake. Just unfortunate. He's been solid. Buckreisen been more on the receiving end, but had a really solid game so far, and that one there just picked up and thrown in.
Yeah, he put his face through his shirt there, very unhappy about that mistake, and you can understand why, but these things, they do happen. They hurt when they happen in these moments, but that separation makes it very...
4-point game, I think, now.
Yeah,
so
4-point game with less than 8 remaining. It's looking good. If you're a Rainbow Warriors fan, they're 3 points away from a points cap and 4 points ahead, so it's always nice when you're closer to finishing them off than they are to catching up to you.
yeah, I think for Mixxxed here, they would have to have the best performance of the day by maybe a couple of seconds per point to come back. We have seen teams scoring 4 points inside 8 minutes already today, so it has been done today, but it's usually getting done at the start of the game rather than at the end, and usually by the team that goes on to win the game.
And usually done with trading more so than just breaking, like steady breaking one team on that kind of a scoring pace.
That pull isn't going to help Mixxxed there as they're pinned at the back of their own end zone. They work it out well. In bay to Ratcliffe. Players maybe slightly cutting each other off, but Webb gets it anyway. Gets it again. Doesn't have a deep option. I thought maybe he'd see a deep option and look to put it there. He puts it at the second time of asking. I think it's Webb. Is he going to run it down? He runs it down nice and easy there. And again, you're going to take that. That was within the 2 minutes allowance. Gets a little peck on the cheek there from his missus.
Well done, well delivered backhand. I almost thought he looked away for a second while he's winding that up, but whatever he did, it worked out for a smooth delivery.
And now we're at that stage.
there.
Now we're at the stage where you feel like maybe whoever scores this point, well, not whoever scores this point, but you feel if, in my opinion, if Rainbow Warriors are to score this one, I just don't see the comeback happening. But a break here, then anything's possible. So for me, for this game to stay alive and be undetermined, I'm going to need to see Mixxxed get a break here, in my opinion.
Minimum, at least one. The rundown Young Legends game going on.
Pull looks good.
Similar looking difference, 11-7 over there, even slightly bigger gap.
Yeah, that pull again almost perfect, just about half a meter outside. That could be the difference sometimes. It's been the difference in some games earlier this week, and we hear 5 minutes left. Won't make too much a difference if they're going to make the comeback. They were going to have to get a ton of breaks regardless. Like you said, a 3-point game in the other game also, as you've said. But Anderson here on the near sideline. Hageberg. Just jams it up the line. And I think in that one, I think for me that one maybe puts this one to bed a little. The energy levels on the mixed team don't seem too high. I think they've kind of had this feeling like this has been coming for a while, and I think maybe they even came into this game predicting that maybe this could be the kind of outcome of the game based on results so far. So a little bit frustrating for them. It's been they came third in their group, and now they played a Rainbows Warriors team who are actually in contention in the mid stages of their final group game to maybe go on and get the win. So
yeah, a little dissension in the ranks for Mixxxed right now. Tactical differences and expression of what should be changed, and it's normal for those kind of frustrations to arise. Probably too little, too late to be making the adjustments. Sure, why not? But will it have a profound difference on the outcome? My estimation is no.
Probably not in this one, but you never know. Sometimes maybe they might have come into this saying a top 10 finish, so what do we need to do to win every game after this? So again, they're still going to play this one out. It would be an amazing comeback. We won't write it off yet, but I would say it will be the most unlikely of comebacks. But it's got to start somewhere, and it might start with a throw like this if the offensive player gets a read on it, and he does. And that was a great throw. Again, I think it was Kirsten shooting it deep to Vital, and moments like that give you hope. It just shows you're just one pass away, but they have to have a couple of moments like that, and they have to get the disc and have the right players in the right positions. So all these factors have to add up. But
a wee 5 breaks in a row.
Yeah. The tough consolation prize of being stuck in Sardinia for a few more days is, the moment it won't feel so good, but maybe half an hour after the game you'll realize, hey, it ain't so bad if this is the game that they get knocked out by. And to get into this position, I'm sure at least they would have said coming into this game, hey, we've at least put ourselves in a position coming into the latter stages of this tournament. I was about to say day 3, but it's only day 2. It just feels like it's coming to an end too soon. 4 days isn't enough time to spend here for Frisbee. Got to find a way to stretch it out to 5 days. I'm sure the players wouldn't complain.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody would. I mean, they all got to work to get their time off, but I feel like they're mostly in better positions. They're seniors in whatever they're doing.
Seeing people writing CEO as their job. Back D. D's it with his back.
Love the blind D position.
The Seagull starts swinging in again, decides not to cross again, but I don't think it's going to be a factor here as Iman is picking it up, throws another hammer, and they get the first break that they need. Achenbach, we haven't said his name in a while, but he gets that one.
That's one.
That's one.
4 to go.
Maybe 3 to go, perhaps. I think the score might be 11-9 right now. Not 100% sure, but
yeah, 11-9.
The blocks on
They
our
still need
scoreboard
4
beside
more
us
breaks.
they're starting to get close together. We got a nice little scoreboard here. They don't flip scores; they just raise a wooden block up a
I bet
wooden
it's 11.
scoreboard.
I thought they were at game point. I thought they were on 12.
I think it was more that we were just saying that we felt like this game was decided if they got one more. I'm not sure. I believe we have the right score in 11-9 anyway, and it seems like that's the scoreboard that everyone else has. So I think we heard the shout of 30 seconds anyway, so there we go, time is over now, so it's going to be finished this at 1. But I think we can agree that unless this is a game to 12, it's very unlikely. But that pull, perfect pull. And they get the pressure down there. They're down there already. No easy first pass, and Fours just makes a good cut under, and thought he was going to stop the play. I was going to say a bad time to call the foul. Playing probably benefits them more, but Stoll is rising now. There was a long time waiting for nothing there. Reset it. Deep shot does go up. It's Anderson underneath it. She makes the grab. Fours is following up. I didn't see the impact there, but I think it was two mixed players hit the ground, so I think maybe just a bit of running into each other. Injury called. Looks like a hand injury. Wrist,
forearm.
Back in play here. Anderson has it. Imagine it's going to be a one pass. It's most likely just going to be thrown to the end zone, although you have a player wide open behind. Why not? Gives it back to Anderson. And a huge grab there. Reaching out by Alvin Weiberg. Decides to reach out, not take the game, but all but. Game to 13 now.
Game to 13. And a 3-point lead. 12-9. I hope Mbe's hand, wrists, forearms okay. She went straight to the medic. I thought they worked quite hard, mixed in the end zone there defensively. Small windows, and once Hageby got involved, used his throws to open a few more spaces. Anderson with a very small window, but finds the corner for Wiberg to finish it. And now officially on game point.
So is it going to be 4 in a row for mixed starting with this one, or is it going to be a break here to end it? Oh, almost the perfect pull. We thought the last one was perfect. I don't think we could have seen much better than it. This one just slightly too far, almost as perfect. As we're starting to see all our volunteers starting to make their way to this field, I don't think those plastic chairs are going to hold up if any more of them sit on them. Vital shoots it straight deep, straight away. That one looks easy, and that's Staslow running that one down. Number 13 to the number 3, and that's the first of 4 needed. Now they gotta get the hard ones, starting on defense.
3 breaks in a row. 1 makes it interesting. 2 gets very exciting.
3
is
makes us
mind
say,
blowing.
no way. Even seeing only it being a 2-point game, it kind of feels weird because it's never really felt like there was a moment where I thought Mixxed were in the ascendancy or we're going to go on and take this. It feels like it's kind of been an almost cruise control game to me for Rainbow Warriors. Maybe it's just from the game before where it just seemed close and back and forth, and otherwise this has been, if this had been 1 point closer all game, you could say it was a pretty intense game, and it's not over yet. This one drifts down, decent pull, a little bit short, but Anderson on it. It's Weiberg on the sideline. Just caught very low there. Back to Anderson. They're just about keeping these discs alive here. Back to Anderson. The game's getting intense when Forrest throws it up there and it's caught. Number 5, Albin Weiberg catches another one. As the players started to form in front of us, you could feel the sideline energy started to build a little bit there near the end, but maybe they needed that a little bit sooner, and that ends the week for Mixxed, and it's going to be Rainbow Warriors who progress into the top 8. Good game, a bit unfortunate for Mixxed, 1 or 2 less mistakes, could have been a different result, but Rainbow Warriors progress.
Big win. They were never behind, never in. They got broke once, I believe, and even then their turnover was an overshot on a huck. Their offense looked tidy, never really in jeopardy against a very tidy, strong, Mixxed outfit, the Germans. So congratulations to the Rainbow Warriors, commiserations to Mixxed. They'll be playing for Ninals and see where they end up from here.
Yeah, and we've still got 1 more round of games to finish the day, and it's going to be the top 4 seeded teams playing. We're going to have the team that came in as number 2, the Finns, against the team that came in number 5, Natsuo. Someone's O has got to go, as these are the 4 undefeated teams at the tournament, so by the end of the next round of games there will only be 2 undefeated teams left, and we're going to I believe we have Finland and Natsuo on this field, so looking forward to seeing the Finland team. We haven't seen them yet, and Sprangled is the only other team we haven't seen yet, so maybe we're slightly, well, I guess it's only for seeding, so it won't matter too much. I was going to say we want to make sure we see everybody potentially before they might get knocked out, but none of these teams in danger of getting knocked out, but these next games just to make sure that the best 2 teams have the best chance of meeting in the finals. So could be a bit of a fun game, maybe teams willing to try things out in the next one. So we have a short break here. We'll see you back for the final game in about 15 minutes, so go have a quick break for yourself, and see you shortly.
Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.